A new study finds that exposure to domestic violence or trauma in the home may be associated with changes in a child's actual DNA. My name is Gina Kendall-Lasardi, and I am a child of domestic abuse. This study has really hit home for me. Like I said, I am a survivor of both childhood and adult domestic abuse. Today, I am the founder and CEO of Speak Out, Get Out, Stay Out, a company I created to help current and former victims of domestic abuse break their cycle of abuse for good, while helping them go from abuse to abundance in their own life and on their own terms. Researchers at the Tulane University School of Medicine studied genetic samples from 80 New Orleans residents, ranging in age from 5 to 15, and interviewed their caregivers about the home environment and exposure to specific adverse life events, including domestic abuse, suicide, and incarceration of a family member. Children's genes were analyzed to determine telomere length. A telomere are the sequence at the end of the DNA chromosome and are in place to prevent them from shrinking during the replications. Think of these telomeres as the plastic at the end of the shoelaces that keep the DNA from unraveling. When telomeres are damaged or shortened, the number of times a cell can divide now becomes limited. When shortened with every replication and are considered a natural marker for aging. The association between life stress and short telomeres has been well studied. Shortened telomeres are linked to poor health outcomes in adulthood, including a higher risk of obesity, diabetes, heart disease, and some types of cancers. Individuals with longer telomeres lead longer lives. Results of this study show an association between exposure to family stressors and shortened telomere lengths in children. The greater the number of exposures, the shorter their telomeres. The longer a child is exposed to violence, the more risk they become. In other words, greater exposure to domestic violence and negative life stressors was associated with genetic effects on children. This change may lead to poorer physical and mental health as adults, and ultimately, a shorter lifespan. Researchers also found a gender divide in the effects of adverse events. Young girls exposed to traumatic events were more likely to have shortened telomeres than young boys in a similar circumstance. Researchers controlled the factors such as socioeconomics, parental age, child age, and maternal education. They also found that the higher level of maternal education was protective specifically for boys under the age of 10. Research in the area is promising, however, including the discovery of an enzyme that can extend telomeres. There's some evidence from research on animals that it's possible to reverse the aging process. There is some evidence that we can slow down the acceleration of the telomere erosion. So, there is some hope for these kids. And in the meantime, the latest research sets the groundwork for prevention. By looking at telomeres, it's possible to tell someone's biological age, which can show if they're at increased risk for certain diseases. The findings also present parents and policymakers with motivation to take a firm stand in preventing violence. These children are aging at a different rate, and we need to try to stop that in all kinds of different ways. Exposing children to violence is an unnecessary risk, and it is silly. It is a silly risk to take because it is entirely preventable. So if you think the violence that is happening between you and your partner isn't affecting your kids, think again. It's not only affecting them, but it is causing them to age faster, have more medical problems in the long run, and possibly a premature death. And it's all preventable. You may be their parent, but you don't have the right to cause your child to suffer. You can help change this, and I can help you break free from that abusive or toxic relationship. I will link all of my contact and rescue information below so we can get you and your kids out of that relationship. Until next time, be bold, be brave, and always be safe.